Welcome my friends, this is Maniacal Incorporated and you join me on another episode of Legitimacy Simulator 876. At the end of the last episode, I was a bit frustrated with the, and I still am, a bit frustrated with the legitimacy system, and I went and checked up some articles online to try and figure out what is it, and how do we get it, and how do we stop it from going negative. The short answer is you can't. Most people complain about having negative legitimacy, and the handful that don't max it out at 60, so there's no kind of middle ground. It's an interesting system. I've figured out with some articles and some help in the comment section in the last video. Thank you to everybody who posted some ideas around legitimacy. I figured out some things that we should be doing. One is not spending it. I didn't realize. I saw that part, I didn't see that part, so no more fairs of Taltu. Do not, under any circumstances, hold any decrees. That's one thing that we can't ever do ever again. Don't sack places. And there's a couple of other things. What I'm going to do right now is nothing. We're going to wait for a while until we pass the winter. So basically in spring of 888 we're going to attack Rothkroken, and we're going to have this lad go in and raid, because you can only raid areas that you are at war with. And being at war with somebody gives you a... I'm going to be interested in that. It gives you a natural decline of -1. So does the raiding cancel that? I don't know. That's going to be a weird one to look at. The only thing that I am going to do, because I'm getting absolutely sick of the governors, is Clericon. For loyalty. View character details. Replace general. We're going to find one of these idiots. Who looks some way good? A defender. Melee skills for spear infantry when they are commanding. Sure.
You can count on us.
So this guy, loyalty 1, absolutely fantastic. Now he is in control of an army. And what I might actually do... I only just recruited these, and we're actually getting slightly more money now. But I've only just recruited these troops. Our money is tanking because of this legitimacy penalty. I might have to start standing down some units. Do you know what? No. We're going to war with these guys, and with the way the battle AI is going, they're not going to strike any of my troops. I was hoping they might actually wipe some of these units and decrease our costs. What I'm hoping to do is, when we take Rothkroken, make Clerican the governor, because trying to actually recruit governors is not working. We will bring this to an end. So we're now told that Clerican is ready for duty, so he can be reassigned somewhere. He's lost his general status, which decreases his loyalty. Fantastic. Ulkavor is reducing public order. This is the guy that we just hired. If I am correct, he has become an exemplar. Chance of having children has decreased. Again from one of the Saint building chains. My hope is that as he's in command of the army, and as we have... Well, we've educated nobles now. But we have a chain here that's giving plus, is it 3 XP per season to our generals? And that we can use that basically to increase his loyalty and prep to install him as a governor somewhere. So there is our educated nobles. All these things that I would love to do. There's no need. The AI isn't going to expand any of its units, so what I'm going for is leadership. So that's going to increase our fame, which is of no use to us. That's going to decrease corruption, as was pointed out in the comment section of the last video. The moot hill that we built also decreased. Did not increase, it decreased corruption. More fame. Income, that'll be useful. Loyalty, that'll be useful. Legitimacy, that'll be useful. And now it's only taking us 3 turns because of the educated nobles and the... So that gives us a research rate. And the library that we have in Clonmacnoise. So here is Ulkavar in line. I was trying to figure out where the hell he was for a moment. And public order is 0. This man is causing a lot of trouble. And from what I can see, That requires 3 grand, and that requires 2/8 to increase public order. Now, he has a skill increase. None of his followers will give a public order increase to the region. They will give public order decreases to enemy regions. His loyalty is... So we'll give him, not the scribe, yeah, the scribe, for +1 governance and a bit of income. So here's our disloyal general, which I believe is Aurora. And in 2 turns, we should be in a position to give them a priest. +1 loyalty and +2 faction alliance. So we're gonna watch him for now. We're gonna watch him. Are we in a position if something goes terribly, terribly wrong? No. He can't march very far. We'll just pray. We'll just pray. So we're gonna have to pretty much sit in our hands again for another while. I did see a large Dublin army. There we go. They're sailing around. They're at war with Cashel at the moment, so I'm wondering if they're going for... Did they take Ardmore? Or was that always part of... It looks like they've taken it. They've taken the entire... They're pushing down the coast. So are they going for Cork? The Devils? And so as we prepare for the winter of 887, we continue to sit on our hands in Arda. Oh lord, what the hell is going on here? We have an assassination plot. The target is Dunica, the actor is that disloyal fool. Treachery. Rumour has it that this man is plotting to assassinate a member of the family. So we can prepare, double the guard, we can ignore. So -2 influence for Flan, sure, we will prepare. And Flan has gotten himself a ton of traits. He has also become flashy, and raving and drooling, and a butcher. A flashy, raving and drooling butcher. So, Dunica has become a shepherd. Dunica, I believe, was already raving and drooling and flashy. I don't know, are you guaranteed to get these? Or for having the pasture building chain? Or is there a chance? Or are they alternative traits that you can get? It kind of just feels a bit random. I don't really have any control over much of this. Or at the very least, there is a feeling like that. We have a foreign trespasser near Ross. So what is going on there? I believe that is Cashel's army. Now, they're not exactly trespassing on our land, are they? No. So I'm not too sure why we're being told about them. Cashel has moved on Kilvickeada, which was part of Waterford. I think Dublin's army, last time I saw it, was around here. If they do march on Waterford, it's going to make our attempts to take Cashel a bit tougher. Tuavuan has marched on Ardmore. So yeah, it would be great if the Vikings did something, because the Vikings can be handy to have, because you can declare war on them and continue raiding them. At least I've seen people say that online, that one of the worst things that can happen is for the Vikings to get wiped out early. As has kind of happened up here to a degree. You want to keep the Viking powers in place so that you can raid against them. Just in case the Devil gets any ideas, what I'm going to do is take Aurora's army out of Clan MacNoise and march them towards Arda. So if he does think about doing anything, he'll have to turn around and come back and fight against the garrison. So, at the start of the next year, we can march this guy right to Rothcroken, begin sieging, and Dunica will basically come up behind him and begin raiding. And it's entirely possible that we'll try and send this guy in over the border as well and have him raid, but it mightn't be until a turn or two later. Hopefully we can take Rothcroken. I'll probably continue the siege instead of actually attacking the city, instead of attempting to take it by force. wait until Krahur's army marches out against us. And yeah, we'll see what this raiding mechanic is like. Ulcavor has become an exemplar and industrious. Well done. Does this guy now have an upgrade available? He does indeed. So his experience is 2 of 20. And so yeah, we have to get him straight away, straight off the bat. Get him a priest. Right then, we'll go the long way around. We'll go the long way around. We will add a demand. We demand to go to war. So Argilla is dependable. Alok, oh god, these regions are going to come in. I'm not going to call in my allies because it's just going to cause anarchy. If they actually start taking regions. What I would rather is we take Rothkroken and try then to vassalize the remainder. We might need to take 1 or 2 more areas. I would like to just vassalize this region. But, and of course that region then is going to become a disheveled mess because without Rothkroken, it's going to disintegrate into constant rebellions. So, look, whatever. We'll accept.
You won't get an easy time of it.
Diplomacy has failed. You should have let Thunica smash.
Kill them all.
So we will maintain the siege without engaging. I'm not too sure. Barracks available turns until supplies run out and garrison starts suffering attrition. We'll maintain the siege. I'm wondering if we should build some things just to... Do you know what? We'll maintain the siege for a moment. Maintain the siege without engaging. So, legitimacy, of course, won't actually change until the next turn. You. We'll bring you to there.
Move it now.
And we can put him raiding. So -4 public order, raids local region and trade routes for wealth, decreases the campaign movement range, something about supplies, nothing about legitimacy.
Strip them of their loot.
We'll see what that says on the next turn, if it says anything on the next turn. This treacherous divil,
You can count on us.
I will need to bring him back to... So we'll bring him to here for now. And here's another issue. This tiny unit over here in Lochgower, they're just within striking distance of Clonard and Canonis. See, this is the hassle about having this region controlled by somebody and then this region controlled by the Vikings. We should have probably moved him over in that direction. Are they going to start causing trouble? Probably. Right. End the turn. Okay, well, the good news, at the very least, is that that has decreased. So what's happening? The raids are bringing in 2, and there's no natural decline. I am slightly confused by that. And there's the Welsh. Oh, those Welsh. So I was hoping to send this army in and have it attack here. What I'm going to have to do is take him over to Clonard, because as long as that army is there, threatening our regions, we don't want to let them, basically. We have some new research, and again we're going to have to continue down in this direction. We're now going from -10 corruption, not much good to us. I would like that income. I could try and start kind of going back and forth between the two chains. I think for now... Do you know what? We need that +1 loyalty for all characters. So, strong leader. Now, you might be thinking, wow, +2 legitimacy per turn for raiding. And we have an enemy over here. We have the rebel army. So why not raid them? And I think this is why I stopped raiding to begin with, because that's exactly what I did. And I have a feeling actually it was Lockgower that I raided at one stage, and I got a -1 legitimacy penalty. If you raid a neutral faction, which is what these guys, even though they can march out and take Clonard, the game still considers them a neutral faction. So basically, it has to be somebody that you're actively, even though we are actively at war with them, we're not actively at war with them. So you have to be actively at war instead of actively at war. So if we raid them, we'll get a -1 penalty. Okay, well, instead of raiding them, why don't we take Lockgower? The problem is, if I take Lockgower, I'm going to have to permanently station an army there. Because the unhappiness, the public order here is going to plummet. Which is how this mess has started already. So it's either station an army permanently at Clonard, or station one permanently at Lockgower. And I'm wondering if we place this disloyal divil there, will that cause a problem? Hopefully at the start of the next turn that -1 loyalty will go away. He will go to +3. Well, no, he'll go to +3. And that'll sort a few things out. I don't know. This is a bizarre mechanic that I'm not entirely delighted with. We're going to continue maintaining the siege here until we get out of the negative legitimacy. At the very least, we have wrapped up their largest army. We have 29 troops to their 19. And we'll see if they'll come out and fight us in the open. We'll try and deal with Clonard. And there's not a whole heap I can do with money at the moment. We're not making a whole heap. Oh boys, look at that for an army upkeep. I could go for... That's going to go to -15 food production. It will increase public order, but only within the province. But 20% research rate faction-wide. For now, we will simply end... We'll just take a quick look down here. What's going on? Oh, this is just making things worse for our war against Cashel. This is just making things worse. But, them lads are about to land. Now, this is interesting. Because we would actually get a legitimacy bonus if Connacht was to give us money. Do you know what? I was looking forward to a large attack against Connacht, and I was talking about this in the comment section the last day. I was looking forward to a large attack against Connacht. We're going to try and spin the army around as rapidly as we can and move on Cashel before it becomes too powerful.
Now we're finally done.
Eramon has become prepared for battle. I don't know what the hell is going on down here, but we do know for a fact that Cashel's 20-strong army is in Wexford and has a, or is in Waterford, and has a long march north if it wants to get to Akavo and Seir. Now, then again, we have a long march to try and get the army down. Crahur's army has been teleported to the border and is not in a position to move. That is problematic. This lad will get him to pull back out. Lockgower still has its forces, and its forces are in Lockgower.
We will not fail you.
We have thrown a chunk of money together, which is going to allow us to improve a number of areas. And you can see that we've actually gained from raids. As far as I know, we gained as well from, or we should have gained from a payment, from receiving a payment. With the big heap of money that we've just received, I'm going to begin expanding this cattle farm at Ciananus, because we need a chunk more food if we want to continue expanding. I don't know if we do want to continue expanding this. We could increase that. I've no immediate need. And we have the library, so that'd be -15 food. We don't have that that production bonus anymore. Or we're not getting that extra food. We were on 26 there for a while we were raiding. Right, we're going to continue rapidly, and I actually have a feeling Donica is going to be the first one into Seir. And from there, what are we looking at? Probably try and hit Akabo, they can march from Limerick, because this entire region is basically all one. So we're going to war with the entire, close to the entire southern half of the island. Here is our possessions in Leinster and Wexford, and they could march that 20 stack army right into Wexford. There is nothing to stop them, so we're going to have to try and move quickly. Hit Seir, Akabo, and possibly try and march to Cashel from there. I don't know, it's gonna be a weird one, but we do need to stop them from hoovering up too much territory in that direction. I believe I have everything done that I can do. You have moved. We're going to at least bring him to Clonard and see about bringing him across to Lochgower. I really do wish Dublin would march, get its troops out of the water and hit that 20 stack army. We'll bring these guys down. So Waterford has fallen to Connacht. However, Dublin have brought their forces ashore. No, they haven't. I would hope that they're going to take Kilvickeda and then take Waterford. Start moving north. Take Kilkenny. I don't care. See if I care.
Our every foe shall fall.
We'll bring him to here for now. Do you know what? We'll bring him to here.
Where's the fight?
It gives us options then for the next turn. I was thinking about this at one stage, how ridiculous of a concept it is that it takes about 3 months to march from... It takes longer. 3 months. It nearly takes like half a year to march from one end of Meath to another in game terms, so that's a bit silly. The map is a bit kind of overstretched. I don't know what way you'd put it. Stretched out too far. And it is slowing things down a bit. If people are interested in watching battles, this must be the most frustrating series ever. But I have seen from some of the previous videos that there tends to be a drop-off when a battle begins. People are either skipping them or kind of dropping out of the video. And I'm wondering, is it because people just don't really like the battles? The battles are so low stakes. Predominantly, it's been large stack armies fighting against 4 stack rebellions. And the battles haven't been the most entertaining to date. I have heard people complaining about the battle AI, even on normal difficulty. I think the toughest battle we had was the very first one, where we had a roughly equal-sized tiny army to the rebellion that we were fighting. So I would be interested to know what people think of the battles in Thrones of Britannia. Are you here predominantly for the settlement management and for Flanchina's great marches around Meath and the kind of the diplomacy of taking these regions, but you're not so not all that interested in the actual battles? Or are you just kind of finding the battles a bit boring? We will push on. Another year passes and not a whole heap has happened. This absolute divil. He's trying to blackmail us. I'm not giving you money. You absolutely go to hell. So that's going to decrease his loyalty. His loyalty is actually going to go back up in the next turn. So he'll become vengeful. We have gained strong leader. So we're making good headway through the research chain now. Next is another fame bonus. I am actually going to switch across just to start down this route. My god, there's a lot of uselessness there before we hit the 20% food production. We'll go for that. So where are we? Here is Donnacha's army. So like I said, I have a feeling Donnacha is going to be the first man in. We could simply have... Where's the straightest path? There we go. Okay, and he'll actually be in the province at the start of the next turn. I don't think he'll be able to... Would he be able to raid it? Or would he be able to... If he could take Seir while Donnacha comes in and raids, that would be fantastic, because he won't... You need to have a certain amount of space left before you can start raiding. Has any... No, nothing's happened down here. Have you even come ashore? God damn it, Dublin. No wonder you've lost everything. The only handy thing is that that 20-stack army is now down to 7. Right, there you go. There's Dublin. Wandering around outside Cashel. Okay, sure. That's a different Dublin to that Dublin. Like, there's all these undefended areas that you could take, but no, I don't know where you're going. Nobody knows where you're going. I'll check around very quickly to see are there any buildings that we could build. This guy's become vengeful, usurper allegiance, you divil. Realistically, the only thing that I can build is another pasture. We do have the chance to increase church income, which I think is probably what we're going to have to go with instead. So that's 2-6, and that is 1-7. We'll start here, will we? Plus 10% commerce income in the local province. I don't know, is that all church income or just church income in this region? The public order is getting low, so I'll actually go with that. And there's also a fame bonus, so I think that's going to bring us up to 120. I'm not too sure which of these victories we do and don't want to go for anymore. I'm thinking the short conquest might be shorter than the short fame. I'm thinking the long conquest might be shorter than the short fame victory, with the difficulty in upgrading all of these buildings. And where is this treacherous divil? There you go. After all that work. After all that work, these guys came in and finally took the province. We'll try and get you. Do you know what? You might very well be in a position. I don't want to bring him that far south. I'm going to try and get him to... We'll get him to Nace, and he'll be in a position to possibly push down in case anything crosses across down here. So we'll get you. We'll get you to here. It has taken Flanchina and Donica years of marching. They did get a good chunk of money and some legitimacy for it. However, we bring the spring of 889 to an end. We're moving into the autumn, and we're then going to march on Seer. So this divil has been whispering rumours behind your back, riling up the people. You probably shouldn't stand for it now. We could pay him 2,000, which we don't have. We will declare our authority. I'm wondering if I should start moving him closer to where we are. I expected, yeah, there we go. So it's just going to be another priest. Minus 10% enemy campaign movement. So there we go. Bring him up to 4. No command, no governance, no zeal, all loyalty. What are you idiots doing down here? There seems to have been a battle. Has the 20-stack army been wiped by a 6-stack? Is that what you're telling me? These guys are just wandering around in this region. Oh god, I don't know what to do with you people. You will have to continue marching you further and further away from anyone who can stop you. Flan.
For the glory of the Gales.
I hope he can reach the settlement now. We will call in our allies just because there's so many troops around the place, but the problem is if they start taking land, we are in trouble. We'll call our allies. And what we're now looking at is the overwhelming majority. The entire island will be at war, bar Connacht and a couple of places in Ulla, which are controlled by Dal Riada.
War it is then.
And Tuvuan has suddenly become unhappy. You're not ready. You're way down. Don't tell me that you're ready. There's lads from Dublin wandering around in your land. Dublin doesn't even exist anymore. Oh, somebody's shouting about the Morrigan. So we will occupy Seer. Oh no. That doesn't make a difference. It wouldn't have made much of a difference. I was just thinking Donica can't come in and raid this place now. We will occupy. So Donica.
None shall stand against us.
Dunica might well have to stay where he is. We won't be able to... Oh, trying to get them up to Cahir Comon. That's going to be a bit of a difficulty. They're hardly going to go through Connacht, are they? Even if they do, that puts them in a bad position. Yeah, I think he'll have to head for Seir as well. And try and come across for Limerick. Probably the fastest route would be... They're hardly going to move across in that direction, are they? You wouldn't know these devils. We'll bring him down. We'll bring him down to stand behind the back of his father's army.
For the glory of the Gales.
Maybe bring him in this direction and put him raiding. And try and get Flan's army to take Akabo. So once again we're at war, and for the first time in a very long time we've actually taken some land. Flan has become armoured, and he is a vanquisher. Vanquisher? Flan hardly knows her. This one-stack army is on the verge of causing as much, if not more, trouble than our two 17 and 12 stacks, because they are on the verge. They could head into Ross and take that. They wouldn't be too far from Ferns. They're not going to be able to take, because of the garrison in Wexford. But they could take Ross, and then they're in a marching direction around this way. So we're going to have to continue bringing this treacherous bastard further and further and further away. He might very well end up marching on Waterford if everything goes wrong. Right, we'll call it there, and we'll see what these guys do. Oh, devil. After all that, we get him up to 4 loyalty. Still not good enough. The man has been planning to overthrow your rule, aiming no lower than the crown upon your head. Again, he has 6 troops to his name. There are a number of options open to you, but doing nothing is not one of them. Show no mercy. I thought it said show mercy. So -1 influence for Flan if we show mercy. A frank yet civil discussion could resolve this man's issues and restore his loyalty somewhat, but at the cost of your own influence. Well, that's fine. I'm not too worried about the influence, because it keeps going up. It's better to talk, so we'll give you one last chance, because look at the, like, 4 loyalty. It's better to talk. Ereman, oh lord. He doesn't care and doesn't care to know either. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, from a food shortage. Food has been short for 1 turn. I don't even understand how the food has gotten all that short. Ross has fallen. Was Ross really that important? Yes. For the kingdom's food supply.
War is what we do best.
So yeah, right. So they took the settlement with 1 troop, and then 8 appeared.
Our bravery is legendary.
So I believe we have to have him on this path, even though, could we move him to where? This one seems to have the most money on it, so we'll move you as short a distance as you have to go. We're being told that he can get... his command seems okay. I'll give him a quartermaster. And we'll set him to raiding. And now we're back up to 6, but we still have an uninformed Edaman.
We will not fail you. Get them now.
So we're up against the garrison here in Akabo. What's actually... Oh, because we lost a settlement, it's gone down by 1. When we took Seir, it went up, and we've lost Ross, it's gone down. We might as well and try and get this done as quickly as possible. We haven't seen any major armies arising from the vassals. Tuvaluan, I believe, would be the one that we are mostly worried about, because they've managed somehow to move down and take Ardmore. So they must have something resembling an army. And our technology is going to be discovered at the end of the of the next turn, we're probably actually going to suffer the loss of another province. Oh, but we have some raiding. Okay. Where's this? Public Order Intriguer? I hardly know her, etc., etc. People don't respond well to enforced authority, so is this everywhere? Except Erman is interested in learning. Well, that's good. He was uninformed in the last turn, and now he's interested in learning. I need to check what these values are like, because they're looking a bit chaotic. What the hell has gone down here? 12. Where did 12 appear from? Can somebody explain that to me? So they had 1. They had 1. They took Ross and went to 8. And now they've gone to 12.
Not possible.
You can't recruit forces in Ross. Can you? Wait, no, you can, can't you? You can. You don't have to be in an actual capital to recruit forces. Okay.
Our every foe shall fall.
See, the thing is, like, with 12 forces, he is screwed if they hit him. So will we give this disloyal divil more units? Do you know what? There you go. Didn't even think about that.
Kill them all.
You take one of my settlements, I'll take one of yours. So that's actually put us up into a good chunk of food production. And yeah, we will give you some units, because you do need them. You deserve them. There's a skirmisher. Don't make me regret not killing you. There's a spearman. That's a lot of money. That's all you get.
Into battle.
So before moving on, we just need to do a very quick tour of the kingdom. Clan MacNoise, well, Mide in general, 2 public order. Leinster, -3. Wexford, a grand total of 0, and this is all because of the -3 public order from Intriguer, I hardly know her, etc., that we got there at the last turn. We're up to 4 legitimacy, which is bringing the tax rate up at least. It's giving us some extra melee skill. I'm not seeing any loyalty bonuses. Oh no, so we get... Okay, so a lack of legitimacy brings disloyalty, but positive legitimacy brings no loyalty bonus. Well, that's great. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. We have this technology researched. And we could go for supplies in allied territory, or we could go for pretty much a waste of... I could very well get to this +1 loyalty and stop. Because the problem is, now that we're actually getting legitimacy, we don't need legitimacy. Because I would only use the +20 to annex a region, which I don't really care about. Decree cooldowns. I'm not using decrees. I'm never using decrees again. They cost legitimacy. So the income for all in all regions would be very helpful. The fame and the +1 loyalty. And instead what I'm going to go for is cavalry units, +15 charge for all cavalry units. That is exactly what we want. And actually, while we have a bit of a food surplus, we will head for Clan MacNoise, and we will get some more books. -200 gold per turn, -15 food production, and 20% research. It'd be fantastic if we could bring that down to like 2 turns per research. Now, after all that, with our son Donica continuing to raid down actually Cashel itself, Flanshina, aided by his gallant allies. What are you doing here? Flanshina is going to attack Akabo.
Show no mercy.
How many of these did we... Oh, we built 3. Good. Okay, that's grand. So, there you go. King of Dublin. What in the name of God are you doing here? And here we have before us the great Irish city of Akabo, well known and famous to everyone on the island for its double walls, the outer walls and the inner walls of Akabo. Ah, yes. Totally. So, I have no idea what the... where's the actual... Is it here in the middle? It is. Okay, I was off in the wrong place. So here's the actual target. We have most of our forces over there. I'm going to do my usual thing of trying to split. It doesn't really make much of a difference because they've 900 forces. We could just get the towers to the wall and let the Vikings climb it. Let the Vikings fight it. But I'll do my usual thing of kind of splitting up the army and setting them in different parts along the wall. It's an interesting division. We'll go for there. So I haven't done a massive kind of... Yeah, the Sea Kings fight for us. I haven't done a massive division. So one wall is... or one tower is going for here to try and keep it out of the way of the archers or the towers, and then the usual thing of trying to just get on either side of the gate, take the gate, and then hopefully that'll lead to our... Who's seeking reinforcements? Oh, the Sea King... Okay. Be clearer about that, guys. Be clear about that. I know we're being reinforced by the Sea Kings. You told me... Yes, I know. You've told me. I can see them. I don't know if anyone's realized this, but we're being reinforced by the Sea Kings. What are you doing? And still, they're... Well, yeah, I suppose it makes sense that they fire at the towers and that they, instead of firing at me. What? Okay. Guys, would you not? Okay, that's fine. The poor old Vikings don't know what to do. They've never been outside the gate, so they don't know how gates work. They put them up, and that's it. They don't know what they do then. So we've hit the walls. We don't actually have a huge amount of forces to send in. We're probably going to have more in this side. Oh, well, these guys have gotten in with no objections. That's fantastic. We'll get you guys in here. So then, one of them is deciding to go the long way. That's great. We might actually. Seems though we are here. Put on because they're just standing guard for a moment. When we try to push our way in. What the hell? Okay. Somebody brought javelineers out. Okay. So we'll bring these guys in that direction. And they can go in here now. And we will get you into a bit of a shield wall. Are they moving with their shields up? I'm not too sure. There's going to be a charge from the rear. I think we've taken the gate. By the looks of it. The Sea Kings are heading in. Fair play to them. They finally got the gate opened. Oh wait, no. It's been retaken again, I think. So we're bringing our forces there on. These guys are putting up a good old defense. We could bring the man himself forward, get him to... I think they're holding pretty well, so we won't endanger him just yet. And there's tons of Viking cannon fodder making their way in. There's actually a good chunk of forces here. So we'll have to start bringing them forward. These guys are not doing a whole heap. There is a tower attacking, and if we were go for these archers, we'd probably end up in not a great position. There are the current spearmen. So these guys seem to have brought all their horsemen forward, first of all. Oh. The javeliners are attacking. They're just charging in. These guys are just standing there and watching some... Okay. So we might very well need to bring Flan Shinna forward and have him just give a bit of a rout. We've captured the gates. I don't know if we want to use that as an opportunity. Whoa, that's some good range on those arrows. And we'll bring him back. We've been told we have a victory. There was a bit of a slog. It was a bit of a push. It was a bit of a push there at the end, and somebody's house got burnt. Oh, there's going to be insurance claims coming in. And once we got that gate taken and got the Vikings pushed through, dead bodies littering around the tower, we will end the battle. So lost 356. So it was a hefty bit of a battle, trying to push our way through the walls. I'd say most of the work was done by their archers, I have a feeling. One of the spearmen has, if I'm right, 68 kills. So thanks to our brave allies from Dublin, without them, we would have been annihilated. And there you go. That's kind of what I won't say I was hoping this would happen. Not too sure which unit this was, but they've been wiped out. So I was thinking this would happen with our battle in Connacht, and that it would act as a money-saving endeavour. But we've actually lost some of the Fine Band. We've actually lost a substantial amount of troops to some of our units. We will. So we could liberate. You see, if I'd known this, I would have left. You see, I can't return Seer and Kilkenny to them, so we kind of have to take it. I'd rather do this, but we'll have to occupy it. So now we can actually take a look at Akabo itself. The granary has been damaged. The round tower, a great round tower, providing 0 fame. So what do we do? What do we do? Repair 58, that's not the worst. Repair 87, that's not the worst. And repair 35. And so then we're left with a meat market. So this is the one and only place that we have the butcher chain instead of the cattle herding chain. And we would need to try and get that up to the next level. We can assign a governor, and actually we should be in a position to assign clerican. We could also assign Ulcavor, who's actually assigned somewhere already, so we will assign clerican. So 0 governance, he's a much better commander. But, wait, where are we? No. Appoint the selected governor there in Ossory. I think while we're here with Flan Shinna in Akabo, I'm going to have to recruit. We'll recruit a Fine Band. So I have Kern Swordsman. We will recruit... Do you know what? It's Flan. It's the High King. We will recruit Arig Warband. We'll recruit the highest level. They are pricey. So that's to replace the one that got wiped out. They do seem to be the only ones that carry siege equipment. So we're going to have to keep them in fairly good condition.
What are our orders?
He's not in a position because he's raiding to march on Cashel. I probably won't have him march on Cashel. This Divil...
We will not fail you.
He hasn't been planning to kill anyone with a while, and I might very well need to. That'll have to be a full-blown siege if they come down in that direction. I will give him... That's 800. Are we in a position to get that as well? Just about. And we're bringing in a chunk of money then on the next turn. We have 45 food. So I will get those 2. That'll bring us up to 3 spearmen. Or 3 swordsmen, I should say. And a horse unit to charge alongside him and possibly act as a political officer to watch over him in case he gets notions. So we'll give him those units and possibly use that army in a turn or 2 to take Ross. They should be able to defend against a 12 stack, but if it gets much bigger we're in trouble, and we're going to have to take Flan's main army. What are you going to do now? Thanks for the help, but what are you going to do now? Take Flan's main army and march it on Cashel. I don't know if we'll get that done this episode, but we'll most certainly see what the first couple of seasons of Clerican's rule as the governor of Akabo looks like. Oh, they're off. Where the hell did that 19 stack just come from? A little kindness. Faction alliance goes up. Clerican has gained some influence from being the governor of Ossory. We're seeing something problematic, which is Arguilla sending a 27 troops down in this direction, so who knows where they're going to land. Again, like, what's going on here? Do I want to know? Do I need to know? Do I even care? That's an army hefty enough to head for Wexford. And if we send Flanchina in this direction, if we send him for Cashel, then we're creating a scenario where he's not going to be in a position to kind of do anything about Wexford. Are we going to send Flanchina? Join up the buddy cop movie that we never wanted. Flanchina and Ugora. Are they going to have to try and hunt down the main army of the King of Munster? So we're actually splitting the army badly. If they move up and hit him and keep hitting him, I don't really care. We don't have much money. We don't have a whole heap that we can do. I'm going to bring this turn to an end. We're getting our legitimacy up with that Divil. Raiding. He should be in a position to fall back on Akabo or on Seer should anything come from Limerick or Cashel. The only problem is that we need to get this done quickly. With that 27 army coming down, the other major issue that we have is that if we wipe out this army, it's just going to turn into a 19 stack again in like 2 seasons. So this is probably a bad idea. So it's now become a 20 stack army. And it does seem to be recruiting massive amounts of troops. So we will pull back the army. He might still be in a position to actually hit us.
Fall back, everyone.
So brings him to within striking distance of Flanchina's army. So this fool threatened to assassinate our son, threatened to try and overthrow the kingdom. We are going to deploy him in this battle and see if he can whittle down some of these forces. That's the first time that I have seen Dags. This is the first time that we're going to be fighting against Dags. So they do have some forces to their name, but none of them appear to have any armor upgrades. And none of them have chevrons. Then again, neither does this army. It seems to be 2 brand new armies. We will manually fight. My main intention here is going to be to try to whittle down some of his forces. I don't see this as being a victory. I've pulled the forces back the way they have to march as far as possible. I was going to hide some of these guys in the forest and have them engage in spear throwing. The problem is that their archers have much longer range. So even though they're marching towards us, I have a feeling we're the ones that are going to have to charge out and engage with them. Look at this, the devil's running straight. You couldn't run around it, and now he has to hurry to catch up. Lads, you're destroying the ditches, lads. Just marching straight through somebody's potato crop. God damn it, lads. Look, the dags. Oh, look at the dags jumping fences. Look at them go, look at them go. Oh, boys. Look at them go. So an interesting solo charge by them. I did end up putting these guys into the forest for the hell of it. And you know what? We will. Seems though they're coming in. And these guys don't have... Do they have the... Oh, they do. Where are our javelineers? Oh, they're retreating. Okay, well, there you go. What are we doing? So the horse boys seem to be coming in. So they've mailed Fina. And the wolfhounds have been caught out in a bad position. We'll send the horses in against them. Probably not a great endeavor. These guys have wandered off into a bad direction. So Ugora gets to spend his day hunting dags. We've dealt with a good chunk of them. And we got some archers. So if we can actually hit into the back of them. Now that of course means that we're in this position where Ugora is now no ability to do a rally. He now has the household archers coming in this direction, or the household cavalry I should say. If we can pull him back and get him ready for another siege, or another to throw him in again. Another charge is what I meant. He's not retreating. Have they been caught by the household cavalry? I'd say this is Ugora's last stand. So we'll send him in against the general. And of course they're sending the horse boys. This is what you do. Disrupting them. Our men are beginning to rout. Ugora has fallen. The devil. He got himself into this situation. But he's done a good day's work in holding the lines. Or in dealing some damage. So we're heavily outnumbered. I think he's put in a good... They've put in a good enough performance, have they? Were some of them just standing there doing nothing? I hope not. But we're now on the verge of a defeat. Flanchina is not going to be too bothered about this. His grand army is only a few miles away and will be in a position to hit the exhausted Munster forces. Considering how heavily he was outnumbered, he didn't do the worst. For as much as we've given out to him. I was going to say we might consider not being as mean to him in future. He's dead. I forgot about that. So they actually only managed to rout 2 of our units, and we have routed one of theirs, which is quite handy. So, yeah, he's probably just realized he's not in the best position. Oh, God. We get a new general. +5 melee skill for sword and infantry. Spear infantry. Yeah, sure.
None shall stand against
Clericon has become resourceful. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, no, that's fine. Oh, thank God. That's, Desmond. I thought that was Arguilla. I thought Arguilla was on the verge of taking Cashel. I was like, oh, God, help us. So you know where they're going. You know where they're going. If I put him on none, we can get him into Akabo and get him to recruit some units to fight against this large army that's coming up against him. We will get 1 unit of horse boys. We can only get 2 units, really. We will get some spearmen. And it's entirely possible that if we hit them, they will be able to fall back successfully, but we will try and send Flanchina in, and they have given battle. So here we have, is this the first time that Flanchina is fighting against a major king? The King of Mide and High King of Ireland against the somewhat battered army of the King of Munster. Now, unfortunately, they have managed to position themselves well. Now, this could be problematic. There is 1 bridge. There is 1 bridge. I thought this was going to be a bit easier of a challenge. It does not look like it. They have positioned themselves on a bridge with superior archers, I would say. Or archers with much greater range. I don't know if we can cross in the water. They're just massing that bridge. This is a bit more of a challenge than we expected. Now, I'm not too sure if we can cross the river. We'll start the battle. Somebody's telling us about a cavalry charge. Can you guys cross? Nope. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. So we've only just recruited them, but we don't have much of a choice other than to begin the process of marching our elite swordsmen forward. I have a feeling they are going to be wiped in their entirety. We will begin bringing you guys forward as well. We'll keep these kerns back a bit further. And we're going to bring the javelin ears in behind the back of them. So as they charge, they'll be charging across at the mailed Fianna. So I was saying these guys don't upgrade. These are pretty well upgraded units. So it looks like I may have been very wrong. We have some Arig spearmen, or Arig warbands, I should say. We have Gol Oglig. The best number of Gol Oglig it is possible to have. So these are actually very highly researched and trained units. This could be a bit tougher than we thought. From what I can see of their archers, wherever they've gone to, this crop here is about as far as we can get before they can start shooting. So it's entirely possible that whoever just said True Britons Forever, we're going to send them across first to die. And there we go. There is the limit of their archers. So I'm afraid to say from here we will have to begin the raid across. We will send the most strongly numbered, 120 out of 120. We will send them across first. We'll get the Arig, who aren't in the best of condition, forward. Where are my Javelineers? We'll get these guys across and see if they can start peppering some shots across. And basically just try and hit the center. And have our forces ready to move in next. So we have a couple of men dead on the bridge, and they're actually sending the troops forward. And of course they're concentrating fire on whatever's coming across the bridge. These guys don't have great range. That is the major problem. Can they... Oh, it's not telling me what their range is, and it doesn't look good. I think we're just going to have some troops standing on the bridge. How are these guys doing? Do you know what they're holding? They're holding. So we'll send more units in. I'm not too sure these guys are getting any hits on anyone. They can go forward a bit on the bridge. And at least take fire away from these guys. They're running away. So they... I will actually have to... This is the first time I will have to do this, is get them to not fall back. So they should, from where they are, be able to fire. Some dags have been unleashed. So I've actually, for the first time ever, had to effectively turn off skirmish mode. Get them to just try and stand their ground and keep firing across. This is an entertaining battle. This is a good battle. This is the best one that I've the most enjoyable one that I've fought yet. So our poor javelineers are taking the belt of their forces. I'm not too sure we'll be able to push anything. Just a man here, he's not doing anything, he's just screaming. He's not even facing the right way. So our javeliners in a javelin contest, and we're going to have to see if the man himself can come forward again. Oh. So they're keeping the general a bit too close. One of our spear units or one of our swordsmen were falling back, and we're trying to bring in more spearmen. Another unit of current spearmen hopping along, happy out, shoving up along the bridge. They actually have a lot of units that very little, if any, damage has been dealt to. And it's mostly these archers. We can't really push through them. I don't know if my if they're still doing any damage. They are falling back by the looks of it. The swordsmen are still holding well, fair play to them. So we'll see. I think what we'll have to do is one of our units of javeliners is gone. These guys have routed. They've routed back in this direction. And we're seeing another unit of javeliners. Oh yeah, the javeliners are having a very bad time. The javeliners are having a very bad time. I'm wondering if we should, like, let the forces fall back and try and move in. I don't think we've done much damage to their... Well, the Gaul Oglig, I saw them driven back a good chunk. Oh, they got spear raiders. They have heavy numbers. They have good heavy numbers. We still have a good chunk of current spearmen that have not been brought in. What I am hoping to see is if we could actually get them up along the bridge close enough, the horse boys, to deal some damage to these surf archers. Ulgarg has taken a chunk of damage. I'm hoping they'll stop. They're on fired will. They're on skirmish mode has been turned off. Why are you getting that close. There was no need to get that close. Are you throwing? They are. It took them a while. They started again. They tend to get, like, ridiculously close. I'm not too sure what their idea is. So what was anticipated as being an easy victory. I won't say an easy victory, but we most certainly believed that it wouldn't be this tough, and we are beginning to see, finally, some of Munster's forces are being driven from the battle. Okay, some of them are coming back again, but we're seeing a chunk of them breaking under the weight of our spearmen. Are we seeing the horse archers attacking their surf archers, or the horse boys? We are indeed, slowly but surely. We're seeing their horse boys charging into the battle? Not too sure. And we're seeing some more of Munster's forces flashing. And we should actually note that I am seeing the king, if I'm correct. Ulgarg has withdrawn a bit further. Their horse boys are getting dangerously close to being involved in the battle. Says the man whose own horse boys are becoming dangerously close to being involved in the battle. We're seeing more of their forces routing. Continuing to whittle away at their surf archers. It's not going great. We're seeing more units routing. We can drop another rally, because God knows that they need it. And we're seeing there's some current spearmen. I'm not too sure. Oh, that was because I selected the wrong unit. Current swordsmen have all been but annihilated. Right. Can we pull back the horse boys and try and get our healthy units forward? And these guys, I have no idea where they went to. So we've driven most of the bridge off. We've driven most of the forces off the bridge. If we can just get these guys forward. The Ari horsemen supporting Flanchina are coming up and may very well be in a position to charge. If necessary, they're now sending in the javelin men to try and hold the bridge. This has been a very costly victory. We're seeing more forces routing. And I think we have taken the bridge. Flanchina will lead. He'll lead some forces across the bridge. We'll get these guys across as well. The horse boys. To cause some damage, potentially. I think the horse boys are actually beginning to run out of ammo. The King of Munster is attempting to charge and charges into a mass of spears. He's gone in a bad direction. He's gone in a place he should not have gone in. And there he retreats. He's dead. He's dead. It is a victory. And what a costly victory that was. We will have to spend the next while running down as many of these forces as we can. That was a costly endeavor. What I will do actually is turn on melee mode. And so we're actually at the edge of the map, and can we hit Can we hit these Gol Oglig before they make their way off the field? Again, hundreds of years before we see axes or helmets or armor like this. Lad, drop the axe and you'll run faster. Well, there we go. I think we've dealt as much damage as we can deal. We will end the battle. It is a close victory. So 500 losses on our side, 1,000 on theirs, but I imagine a lot of that was done towards the end in the rout. It would be fantastic to know how many they had lost before the rout began. So that's the longest battle we've had. 495 losses, that is hefty, so it is a great and glorious victory, probably Flanchina's greatest victory to date. But it's costly. Oh, for God's sake, they still have one unit. Again, that one unit can deal more damage to us than we're going to have to go in against them. We'll go in, and if I auto-resolve, fight aggressively, fight using balance tactics. Okay. 300,000 losses now on our side. No, okay. Do you know what? They did a fairly good job. They did a fairly good job. Take on warriors. Because we've seen what a single unit can do. We've seen a single unit turn into a 20-strong army. And here is the brand new unit that was recruited following Ugora's death. We're going to begin marching them to Ross. They'll take that on the next turn. And Flan potentially is going to have to head for Waterford, even though he is within striking distance of Cashel and an 18-strong army that's moving north to deal with Donica. We have some skills available. Our people have gained skills. Flan plays it safe. I don't think the people he threw across that bridge would say that. Ulcavor, we'll have to give him another scribe. His loyalty is remaining good. And Clairchen, again, we're going to have to give him his first scribe as a governor. I was expecting this video to be action-packed, or to have a bit more action in it than the last one, but I did not expect that it was going to go the way it went, because I thought we were going to have a major battle against Connacht in Rothkroken. That didn't pan out, and instead we find ourselves down at the other end of our growing empire, dealing with Munster. That was a huge, and you know what, an enjoyable battle, to a degree. Because it was a bit closer because of the way the whole thing was set up. But yeah, we're going to have to get back to increasing our military forces. And the most important thing is that we are beginning to get legitimacy under control. I don't know if we saw any growth since the last episode. The last turn. The raids. And we're at war and we're not seeing a natural decline. So again, I'm not too sure what actually causes that. The raids have been called off now that our son has been pulled back to Achabo. We're seeing that 18-strong army march north, which Donica might very well have to take on, unless Flanchina can head across, but he does need to repair some of these units and possibly get some new ones and possibly get some new research. But yeah, so we have some options there for the next episode. March south, march on Cashel, or try and let Donica deal with things. There you go. I enjoyed this one. This was good fun. Now that I kind of understand the way that the game wants me to play it. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode, and I hope that you will join me on the next one as we try and deal with Cashel before any of our allies do.